Hey, yeah, what's up? The disciple Marcello Currents reign back up in this anti-Illuminati all day, anti-telepathy all day, and everybody with them. Yeah, so this message is going to be God has destroyed whole nations before. God has destroyed whole nations. See, some of y'all think, well, it's just too many of us here. God ain't going to do that. God ain't going to take everybody away. Well, if you believe in the God of the Bible, He's destroyed entire nations. Not a neighborhood, not a side of town, not two and three different metropolises or the equivalent. He has destroyed entire nations. So, for all you Americans that's entitled, think you're entitled to life, no one else feels like that in the world because they lose massive amounts of people for this reason, that reason, just bizarre stuff. But you Americans think that you just entitled to live. Like you American, you're gonna make it somehow. I'm sorry, that's just your old washed up philosophy. Because the truth of the matter is, America is way out of pocket. Sodom and Gomorrah, the whole city was destroyed. The whole two cities were destroyed. So you do the math. There had to be kids there. There had to be young people there. But it didn't matter because the sins of the people were so heavy that everybody had to die. So why you thinking your kids can save the day and God's just gonna let us live because we got children in the country? That didn't stop God before. I gotta get you sober minded because some of y'all think that your kids is your bulletproof vest for life and even eternal life. Some of y'all that goofy. You think your children is gonna make you live. You use your children as a bulletproof vest. God has destroyed whole countries and nations with children. Your children are not more holy than God. Can your children compare to God? In your world, they do. Because you don't even believe in God. You don't even love God. Because God said, if you love me, keep my commandments. So you don't even love God. So I expect you to think that your children own the universe and that your children is just everything. I'm sorry to tell you, God is above your children. God will take your children up out of here. Look at Egypt. Egypt, all the children, the firstborn of the children were killed by God. The firstborn of the children were killed by God. This is history. Is God unjust? No, they are just humans. That's the truth. They're not fairies, they're not angels, they're not any of that, but certain cultures make their children gods. Let me say that again. Certain cultures make their children gods. You make your children idols. God has destroyed children before. God has destroyed whole nations before. God has destroyed whole nations. What does that tell you? Children were there. That's what it tells you. So your mentality towards children being idols, and you feel like you're gonna do whatever it needs to for you ever you need to do to keep your children alive. I know that's how you think. But if you ever try to come for me on some superstitious stuff, thinking that I have some wizard wand to kill your children, you really gonna die. Ain't nobody playing no games, bruh. Ain't nobody playing no games. God will destroy you and your children playing around me. The truth is you have become the wicked. And there's little regard for the children of the wicked. I'm gonna say that again. The truth of the matter is you have become the wicked And there is little regards for the children of the wicked. I'm trying to show you the Bible instead of how you think. You think this way. God says, my thoughts are not your thoughts. My ways are not your ways. There is nothing before God. God loves all his creation the same. Meaning, there are people that that God loves just like you love your children. God loves his children just like you love yours. And no matter what age they are, he loves them just like they came out the womb. And he protects them just like they came out the womb. You Americans throw away your humans when they get about 30 something. You start throwing away your human beings. You don't care what happens to them. God doesn't do that. So God loves, basically, just like he loved the children, he loves his servants. That's what I'm trying to say. So that's what you need to realize. While you got this endearment, that's your children. You should have endearment for your own children. You should. But don't expect everyone to feel that way. That's your child. That's a part of your life. That has nothing to do with me. So what am I supposed to do? Every time I see you bow down to your children? Oh, you got that from the white culture in America. All this goofy goo-goo gaga over children. Black people don't act like that. You don't see black people really messing with other people's children. White people do that. White culture do that. Somebody else's dog. Oh, you rubbing other people's dog. Black people don't really do that. I'm just showing you it's certain influences that you all got from the white people in this country. That's not racist. I'm identifying where it came from. So while you tripping off of nothing, you putting your children in danger. You putting yourself in danger because you playing with one of God's children. Don't play with me. Okay? Because just like you love your children, just like you're willing to die for your children, God is willing to kill all of y'all for his children. You don't believe it, do you? I'm gonna do another video on it. I'm gonna pull up the scriptures on it to show you how God just destroyed. He just destroyed nations. And he cared about his people. He didn't care about the children of the wicked, because the children of the wicked, like I told you in the other videos, baby roaches become roaches. Baby snakes become snakes. Anything these people are that's walking around playing games, their children are going to be something like that or worse. Some type of evil, some type of wickedness. So we don't care about that. You understand? If I see people that are walking around playing games, you think I care about the children of those people? They're going to become what they are. Hounds for white people in America. That's all you are to me. You ain't nothing but hound dogs for white people trying to search out who's right and who's wrong. I belong to God. I don't belong to America. I don't belong to American people. I don't belong to you. You don't own me. Yeah, you ain't done nothing really for me. Especially being that you owe me money. I'm just letting you know where I stand. Besides what you thought, where you had it messed up at, I'm showing you where it's really at. That's what I'm showing you. And a lot of people, and I'm willing to die for mine. So all this little foolishness y'all got going on, all of y'all finna get destroyed by a miracle. By a miracle by God. A miracle by God is about to destroy y'all people. We ain't playing no games. We ain't trying to make this prolong. We ain't trying to prolong this. If this happened tonight, it'll be great. Get y'all up out of here. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to prolong this anymore. I'm not trying to wait for anybody. Any loved ones, any friends, family, better get your life together, because this is the end. This is about to be ended. We ain't trying to wait no longer. We ain't trying to prolong it. We ain't trying to keep it going so they can live high in the hall so the wicked can live high on the hog, so the racist people can live high on the hog. Nah, this is a country that would never be equal. If it gets back to normal, you're going to get beat down back to normal, just like you did before COVID. All you non-white people, when it gets back to normal, you're going to get beat down back to normal, like it was. That's your normal. That's your back to normal, getting beat down. That being considered, this is a golden opportunity to let this country fall on its face. And whatever it becomes after that, I'm willing to deal with it. I'm willing to deal with it. Because this country, this is the golden opportunity that we'll probably never get again. That's why the white man is kissing y'all butt. He ain't never kissed y'all butt. Giving y'all stimulus checks. Everything. Giving y'all stimulus. That's his way of kissing your butt and keeping you on his side. That's what Donald Trump was. That's all he was doing. Trying to keep you on his side. I'm glad I ain't get none of that money. I ain't get $1 of that money. I'm glad. I ain't have to have stimuluses to make it. I ain't have to have one stimulus to make it. Call me crazy, call me whatever you want to call me. I ain't have to have one stimulus to make it. And that's no disrespect for people that had them. Hey, good for you. But don't be deceived by why it was given. It was given for you to be pacified and for you to be good towards the government and love these people and love these politicians. That's how they got you. They got you with the stimuluses. See, that's why they don't got me programmed and brainwashed, because I didn't get the stimulus. That was your way of feeling like, oh, my government's trying to help me. Your government's trying to keep you on their side so you won't see that this is the golden opportunity for them to be destroyed. And you ain't got to ride with me, because it's going to happen anyway. I'm not doing this for you to join me. Hey, that's up to you. But I'm going to let the truth be known. Like I told you, my videos is for everyone to see things as they are, as opposed to what you thought they were. Yeah. So while y'all tripping and thinking the government is for you, they were trying to pacify you. That's all they were trying to do. Trying to keep you under calm. They weren't trying to help you. They cut the food stamps. Okay, how they handing out stimuluses at one moment and then cutting food stamps on the other half? And the unemployment situation, how all that was happening. And what's the other one? The whole money for your leases and all that. They were trying to cut all of that. So they got this one spot where they're trying to give you some money, and then all the other stuff is just their regular behavior. How does that work? If they're really trying to help you, they know you need food. They was talking about cutting off the food stamp situation was messed up. The unemployment situation was messed up. The unemployment situation was the real thing that everyone was talking about. They didn't even want to give everybody the money. They didn't even want to give them a certain amount of money. They was trying to reduce it down as low as they can. They didn't want to give people that wasn't working money. I told you about that. They only care about the working class, aka the slave trade. They only care about y'all, the slaves. That's the working class is code word for people that's slaves in America. They only care about you that's working. They don't care about no life that's here. You see what I'm saying? And my people, my ancestors work for free. I should be getting free money. EBT ain't nothing but karma for my ancestors working for free. I should be getting free money. I should be having a free place to stay when you deprived my ancestors. I really am connected to slavery. A lot of people are not. You'll be surprised how many people are not. Oprah Winfrey told the whole nation, everybody, that she was not a descendant of slavery. She checked her genealogy and found out that she was not connected to slavery. Her genealogy is not connected to African American slavery. Mine is. My grandmother told me the stories. My grandmother was born in 1917. She told me the stories. Okay? How the slave master raped my grandmother. Yeah. That's how we became mulatto on my dad's side. My grandmother, one of my grandmothers in my genealogy was raped by the slave master. That's why it's no games being played, man. We ain't playing no games, man. You know what I'm saying? I can't speak for everybody else, but that's my story. So that's why I don't care about whether this country get back right or not. If your grandmother was raped by a slave master, that's how I was told. Raped. Not that they had a relationship. On my dad's side. So just imagine hearing all of that from my grandmother. Remember, she was born in 1917. So she had accurate information handed down to her. Her mother was born in the 1800s? That information was accurate. Okay? That's what y'all gotta realize, man. That's what y'all gotta realize. So all that America has done to this people that's here, it's just time. It's just time, man. It's just time for this country to expire. Like I tell people all the time, this country should have been destroyed when after slavery and after they wasn't helping people after slavery. After they let the slaves go free and they didn't help anyone, that should have been the end. And definitely after they assassinated Martin Luther King Jr., that should have been the end. That's what I'm just trying to tell you. So, God has destroyed whole nations. That's what you got to realize. God has destroyed whole nations before. So while you think you got it all good and there's no way that God will not destroy this country for one man, I'm sorry to tell you, he's done it before. Look at Noah. That's another example. Boom. Nobody was saved but Noah and his family. There was nobody saved but Noah and his family. That's biblical. I'm trying to show you the mind of God. Why you think that you and your children are going to make it to where the people like me die? You think that all of y'all together is going to make it to where I would be the one that should die? That's going to be the overall good? God didn't see it that way other times. God didn't see it like that the first time the world ended. Nobody was saved but Noah and his family, and of course they had children. Use your common sense. You think they were all adults that died from the flood when Noah was in the ark? So you think everybody out there outside the ark was only men and women? So why you getting mad at me and you think I'm to blame? It's just the end of the world. What can you do about it? What can you do about it? Well, we're going to protect our children against the end of the world? You're going to protect your children against the end of the world. Bro, you sound like a moron. At the end of the day, man, the end of the world is a part of life. Just like death is a part of life. That's what a lot of people don't understand. Because you didn't see it, because the other generations didn't see it, and it went on and on where other generations didn't see it, they didn't incorporate this into lessons of life, which they should have. That the end of the world is part of life. So that you get ready and stay ready and be ready for the end of the world. And that you will be with God in the end. If you know that the end of the world is part of life, and that's been informed to all generations, the generations that see the end of the world won't be in the shape that America's in. If all the generations had passed down the information that the end of the world is a part of life, that means everybody dying, include children and animals and everything, then the generations that see the end of the world will be ready. They will be prepared. But you see how they are? Because the generations didn't teach them that the end of the world is part of life, unfortunately. Okay? It's a part of life. There's nothing you can do about it. You can't kill the right person and it stops. You can't kill the right person and it's over. The end of the world is part of life and you still gonna perish when it's time to go. It's just like you're taught to be a man when it's time to die. All you American men and men across the world need to know, be a man when it's the end of the world. Stop being a coward and stop being a moron trying to blame somebody for the end of the world. You just done too much. You're talking about children, but 40 states allows children to have sex in America. You're talking about children, but children are being raped by the police. You're talking about children, but black people are shooting kids in gang banging violence. So what are you talking about with children? How's it been displayed in your community? How's there a reverence for kids in your community? It's the end of the world, man. Stop playing. When it shows out there, then come talk to me. Out there in the real world, kids are being raped by police. They're being raped. They're being killed by black on black gang banging. And everything else in between. That's what's happening in your community. That's the community you call yourself trying to protect. Where gangbangers are shooting up houses and killing your kids. Where police are raping your kids and getting hand jobs from children in their cop car. That's the country you talking about. That's who you trying to protect. That's the country you call yourself protecting. It's the end, man. It's the end of the world, man. Okay? Deal with it. Deal with it the best way you can. Go create some memories. Go create some memories for the holidays. That's what you need to do. Because it's the end. That's what you need to do. Because that ain't nothing you can do. You can't karate your way out of that, buddy. You can't karate your way out of that, buddy. You can do a million hi-yas and you're going to be still facing the end of the world with everybody. And that's the end of it. That's the facts of it. God has destroyed whole nations and only preserved one family. Why you thinking, because I know how Americans think, well, nah, God is not going to let us die and we'll take that person out if it comes down to us in our country. Not if God got something to do with it. You'll all be dead and that one family will live. God has done this before. I'm trying to show you. This is not some theory or opinion of mine. God has destroyed a whole world. Children and all, by a flood. And I believe it because people are wicked and they need to die. A lot of people need to die. The closer we get to the end of the world, the more believable that God has done it before. It's just sometimes when people get stuck in the same mentality of evil, they all gotta go. And ain't nothing you can do about it. Ain't no Christian can save you. Could Noah save the people? Could he pray and save the people? It didn't work. You can't always save everybody, man. And that's what preachers need to know too. Sometimes you can't pray through it because guess what, my friend? It's the end of the world. You can't pray this away. You can't fast this away. You can't find somebody to pray against and fast against to stop this. Are you kidding me? With all this wickedness that they doing, the kids getting killed through gang banging, people shooting through walls and killing kids, cops raping kids. Okay? How you gonna stop the end of the world from coming to destroy that? What you needed to be doing All you evangelists and all you on fire Christians, what you should have been doing, you should have been praying for these gangbangers shooting through houses, killing these kids. You should have been praying for against these cops that's been raping these kids. It's all in the news. You're out of touch. You're on fire and out of touch at the same time. It's not God's fault. It's not God's fault. You call it being separate from the world, not to watch the news and to see what's going on. You need to know what's going on. God didn't tell you to do that. God said, watch as what? As well as pray. You got to watch and pray. You need to be watching the news, watching what's going on, so you can pray effectively. But now, it looks like it's the end. You have not been paying attention to what's going on. Now you're trying to find somebody who they're persecuting to pray against. Now that's how you think you're going to get free. You have not been paying attention to what's been going on. Why it's really ending. It's really ending because of all this gang banging, killing these kids getting raped by cops. And the government has 40 states that allow children under the age of an adult to have sex in 40 states in your country. Maybe that's why it's ending. While you're trying to find some supervillain, 40 states allows children to have sex. Those children are under the age of 18. Okay? That law is a supervillain in itself. So just deal with it. It's the end of the world. Pray for your family. Get people ready because it's the end, man.